Hi everyone, my name is Maurizio and welcome to my channel. I'm 34, I live in Melbourne and I'm about to become a Tesla owner. Come with me on this journey where I'm going to speak to you about the whole process on ordering a used Model 3 and if it's worth it and how I came to that decision. Now in December 2024, Teslas are now so cheap and ubiquitous. So many reasons, lots of other competitors on the market, cheaper batteries. More importantly, for Australia, full FBT exemption on novated leases. So that is what I'm going to be focusing on today. If you're not going to stick around to the end of the video, TLDR is that I got a used Model 3 through my Novated Leasing company, and it works out to be almost the same price as keeping my current car over 5 years. If you'd like to find out how I calculated all that, stick around. With the introduction of the government's full FBT exemption, that exemption was from the 1st of July 2022. I chose to do a novated lease. So these are the calculations that I have done. I actually used a calculator from a Redditor known as Changyang1230. I've put a link down below to that calculator. It has been really useful for me to figure out how much value it is to get a new Tesla or used Tesla. So without further ado, here are the calculations.
Okay, so here we are. First thing you will need to do is copy it to your Google Drive. So don't use the one that is linked below directly. Just click on the link and copy it to your Google Drive. I've actually renamed this to used car because I have another one for brand new car, just so I could compare the two. So I'll take you through how to sort of populate this. In the top one here, the dutiable value and drive-away cost. The dutiable value is typically everything that the car costs without the on-road costs. So no stamp duty, rego, CTP insurance, etc. If you're going onto the Tesla website, Tesla calls it vehicle subtotal. The drive-away cost. So the drive-away cost does include absolutely everything that is included with driving a car on the road. So it includes the CTP insurance, stamp duty, that sort of thing. At the moment, Tesla's got a $3,000 discount on Novated Leasing. So if you are going brand new with Tesla, then you will need to manually subtract $3,000 from both these prices to get the price that you need to input into these cells here. Okay, so once you've done that, your estimated market value after 5 years. In this version of the spreadsheet, it suggests 40% of a drive-away cost. For my example, because mine's a used car, I calculated 40% on the brand new price of this car back when it was brand new. So this Tesla that I got was a 2023 model. So 40% of a 2023 model was roughly 24,000. So that's what I've put here. Otherwise, 40% off this value is what you will put into this box here. The annual mileage, 10,000 Ks. I don't drive that often, that much. So 10,000 is for me, but you change it to how you see fit. Lease documentation fee. This should be provided to you in your quote from your Novated Leasing company. For mine, it was $437.82. Lease starting date, doesn't really matter what that is. It's automatically populated, so you don't have to worry about it. And for my lease, it's a 5-year lease. So your financials. So if we scroll down here, total taxable income. I put 100,000 to be a little bit more conservative for this demonstration purposes. Home loan offset interest rate. So this is the interest rate of your home loan. This calculator is assuming that the money that you're going to be using to pay for this novated lease and to get any interest from your home loan is going to be in this bank account, and you have an offset account. If you don't have an offset account, if you have a high interest account, then you will need to adjust it according to your tax bracket. The instructions are here. So for me, my interest rate is just actually over 6%. I've put it as 6% to be more conservative. I just want to have some very realistic numbers rather than optimistic numbers. So I've just left it as 6%, but your interest rate might be higher and you can change it as you see fit. So the vehicle lease per fortnight, so this is a number that is arguably the most important number in the entire spreadsheet. This number comes from your novated leasing company and it's just the vehicle lease. This is not how much you pay per fortnight out of your tax. This is just for the vehicle. If you do not have a quote from your novated leasing company, then you actually can estimate this. So if you scroll right down, here we are, this one here. So your finance interest rate, so you can put in the interest rate on here and it will calculate the fortnightly vehicle lease. Here it's 8.3% I've put in here. That's really low. So if you can get 8.3% from a third-party finance company, then that will be great. I actually decided to go with Maxxia, which they gave me a 12% interest rate. The reason I chose to go directly with Maxxia is simply because it's my first novated lease. I don't feel 100% comfortable going self-managed. I might do that for my next novated lease, but for now, I've sort of made peace with the fact that I will be paying a little bit of a high interest rate for this lease. But you certainly do not need to do that. Once you have a number in here, so this is 368, you can put that value here. So as you can see, 374 was the actual rate given to me by my leasing company. 368 was the one that was estimated, so it's fairly close. So annual package running cost, this is where you're going to put in what's going to come out of your pre-tax money, or most of it. I've put $400 for an EV. It probably will be less. It's important to note that all of these values here are not set in stone, and basically they never will be. It is simply a budget. If you do end up paying more out of your pre-tax salary, it just goes into an account with your novated leasing company and you can get that money back. So it's just a budget. It may fluctuate and that's fine. Registration in Victoria is $834.84, so that is fixed. Electricity, I've got it as $381. That's what my novated leasing company gave me, but you can calculate it as 0.042 cents per kilometer, which will give you, a roughly $420 for me. Insurance for my 2023 Tesla Model 3 comes to $1627 with RACV. Again, you can shop around, do your own quotes. You do not have to go with the insurance from your novated leasing company. In fact, usually it's too expensive. So go with your own insurance. And management fee, that's just coming from your novated leasing company. That doesn't change. Electricity, so average AUD per kilowatt hour is 0.15. You can change it if you like. If you think you're going to just use solar, then you can probably reduce that. If you're going to use public charges, you can increase that. The average watt hour per kilometer, look this up for your EV. For a Model 3, it's generally 142, but you can change it if you have a different electric vehicle. And this is the section which applied to me. I wanted to see how much it would compare to keeping my current car. So the estimated market value of my current car is around $19,000. Look that up on car sales. The market value after 5 years from now, I estimate that the car will be $14,000 after depreciation. My annual running costs of my Golf is $1,300. So I've included I'll need a new set of tires within those 5 years. Maintenance, I've probably roughly estimated to be about $700 a year, plus extra things that might go wrong within those 5 years. Registration, $900. Fuel for my Golf is actually really good. I only really pay $90 a month as I work from home. So $90 a month times 12 only gives me $1,000 worth of fuel every year. For most people, that's going to be a lot more. But for me, it was actually quite low. Insurance for my Golf ends up being $1,500. You can optionally compare it with a traditional car loan. I don't think most people will be going with a car loan these days, but you can put those numbers in there if you like. All right, and this is where the calculation spits out information regarding the worth of going for a novated lease. This section here is new EV via novated lease versus just paying it with cash. Your 5-year lease sees a novated lease option costing $16,000 less compared to buying the car outright using offset over 5 years of ownership. Basically, what that means is that if you were to pay for the car using just your cash in your bank account, you would be paying $16,000 more over 5 years. So the novated leasing option is a much better option if you are going to pay it with cash. And down here is all the calculations and how they worked out $16,000. Versus keeping my current car, so this is the section that applied to me. I wanted to know whether a new Model 3 or a used Model 3 is better for me versus keeping my current car. So the lease sees it costing almost $2,000 more than keeping my current car over 5 years of ownership. And I think that's a pretty good deal. And so I've chosen to do that. And also keep in mind, this is conservative numbers. If you keep things conservative, then you know that this number shouldn't increase very much.
So as you can see, the novated lease for me works out to be really good. So dealing with Maxxia, what are the steps that I took in order to get this novated lease happening? You have to call Maxxia or your novated lease company, get a quote. I got a quote for a brand new Tesla. You can use it as I showed. If you don't have a quote, you can sort of roughly estimate based on a percentage, an interest rate, but you really should go get a quote. It works things out much more accurately. I then found a used Tesla instead. The brand new Tesla just ended up being really too expensive for me, even with a novated lease. And a used Tesla made sense for me. I got a 2023 Tesla Model 3 rear-wheel drive, and that worked out to be really cheap for me. Shop around, have a look at used car websites as well. You might get a really great deal. Based off the quote, I chose to ring the dealership and have a video walkthrough. So the dealership was actually up in the ACT, so it's a bit far from me from Melbourne. I just did a FaceTime call with them. I was happy with it, so I put a $1,000 deposit down and then got the invoice and sent it over to my novated leasing company. They then got in contact with the dealership to organize the rest of the money to get transferred. Be careful though, because the novated leasing company will also try to upsell you on all the different other insurances, buyback insurance, paint protection, tinting, all that sort of stuff. And it's fine if you do want some of that stuff, but you probably are better off getting that outside the novated leasing company, and it'll be much cheaper. At the end of the day, it's really worked well for me. I am awaiting the delivery of my Model 3. It should be coming in the next week or so. It's getting driven down from the ACT. So thanks for watching. Yeah, I'll keep you updated.